So I'm reading your questions here, and it's easier to just answer it in a video. Interested in learning what is on the horizon for biohacking, where do you think it's going, what do you think the end goal is, and what is your goal for biohacking yourself? I think that biohacking isn't really all that new. People have been augmenting their capabilities for a long time, usually with tools outside their body, and kind of logically we're moving those tools inside the body. What's kind of new is that we're using these tools that used to be exclusively for medical purposes, for restorative medicine, something that kind of restores somebody to a normal, and now we're using them for augmentation purposes, so going beyond that normal and trying to kind of expand our capabilities. But the urge to do so and the methodology of doing it is pretty much the same. I pick up a smartphone and I'm like a god, but it's temporary. When I put it down, I'm just a human again. So, if you look at the word hack, a hack, in my opinion, the definition of it is that it's an unconventional approach to solving a problem or achieving a goal. And the only thing that makes it a hack is that it's unconventional. And so, kind of the goal of any hack, whether it's a biohack or not, is to be good and efficient and better than convention. And if it is, it's usually adopted and it becomes conventional, so it's no longer a hack. We're just pushing the envelope, really, is what it comes down to. So the end goal for me is to essentially be able to fundamentally augment my capabilities, meaning, again, when I pick up a smartphone, I can reach out and touch anybody in the world. I have access to, the sum of human knowledge, but it's not really me that has that capability. It's my phone, and it's not really part of me. And so there's a fundamental psychological difference when you have an implant that's kind of just disappears. It becomes transparent. It becomes part of you. You consider it part of yourself in a way that you don't consider a smartphone or a Fitbit or any other wearable device or something you put on glasses. People get LASIK or their contacts because they want that augmentation, and this is restorative augmentation, but the point is they want that to be more a part of them than this thing that they put on and take off and have to manage. So you get your eyes surgically corrected. That's your eyes. That's you that now has better sight. But when you put on your glasses, I mean, the effect is, logically it's the same. You're correcting a lens, but one is permanent and it's part of you, and the other is temporary and something you have to manage. So there's this drive to constantly improve ourselves through our technology, and the only difference is that we're pushing it under the skin, just hopping over that tiny little logical layer to make it a permanent augmentation of our bodies. So I think that's interesting. Businesses run in the Seattle area. Do you know anybody who's gotten an Orca card? Actually, we're working on that. We're looking at transit systems all over the world. Orca in Seattle, and the Oyster card in London, and kind of everywhere. There's similar cards, and so we're exploring the idea, but it won't be. It has to be kind of a hack, because the transit companies don't want to give us the keys to their little payment cards that they use, their transit token cards. So we have to actually take the chips out of the cards and make implants out of them. So that's not going to be a nice small injectable. It's going to be somewhat larger. Let's see if I can find an example here. All my examples are gone. Where did they go? Here we go. So I mean, this is that's what's inside of the needle. It's 2 millimeters by 12 millimeters, pretty small. And when you're talking about one of these transit card chips, you need to get a bit bigger and change the form factor. I guess this is kind of representative of what it would be. So it's about 8 to 10 millimeters wide. It's super thin. It's like a piece of paper, but it's much larger. So you need a different approach to get it installed. So we're gonna see what kind of market there is. But I think it's going to be interesting because transit and payment are ubiquitous applications. Like when we talk about augmenting the human body with crypto platforms like our VivoKey, or just identifier tokens like our NFC compliant XNT or something. It gets injected, but the average person doesn't typically use NFC. The average person doesn't typically use cryptography even. So the applications are narrow and limited to people that are interested in those things. So transit payment, that's something everybody has to deal with. And so I think we'll find some people that'll be interested and willing to explore that kind of augmentation in the near future. Yeah, so I mean, that's basically it. If you are interested in, I did a little bit of Googling. So you're at Seattle Central, I think. You're in the area. So if you want to, gather some orca cards together, and you're interested in getting one implanted, I can make an implant for you, and we can do a little video or something. That'd be cool. So let me know, and talk to you later.